What's up, Daniel? Nope. Today's a follow-through day, buddy, at least according to these charts. We got to see what IBD actually has to say about it because they use slightly different charts. I will revert to them because they got all the tools. I'm just a guy with a few charts. But it does look like a follow-through day towards the end of the day here. The Nasdaq looks like we got higher volume on the futures, higher volume on the TQQQ. I'm assuming QQQ is the same. Higher volume on QQQ. Cross the 200-day moving average. Guys, this looks great. That's all I got to say. This looks really good. Unfortunately, it's a very short correction. I don't see a tremendous amount of things that were buyable. I was really trying to look for something to add to today, and I actually did something I've never done before. I sold some puts on the Qs on the TQQQ. I sold puts only for like 11 days out, saying that it's not going to go below $50 within 11 days. So I should be pocketing all of that whopping $50. Just trying that as a new potential strategy, way to make a little extra. But yeah, this looks really good. I'm really happy with the day. So yeah, like I said, I'm assuming a follow through day today, and that's about it. Although I do think it's kind of funny, Jeff Sessions was fired the day after the election. I just saw that come through a little bit ago. I think that was hilarious. But yeah, that's it. I want to jump on a little earlier, but I literally just got home and jumped on here as fast as I could. I wanted to be in here a little before. It didn't work out, but yeah, this looks really good. So all of our stocks we were looking at this morning looks like they all pretty much rocketed. We had Send. I mean, look where Send opened, and then just rocketed higher throughout the day. Twilio, look where that opened, and then rocketed higher throughout the day. Just a bunch of huge moves. Tilroy up 30%. Doesn't look like a lot, but Tilroy doubled in like 4 days, so nothing looks like a lot to Tilroy. Actually, doubled in 1 day. But yeah, Tilroy 30%. Look at the volume here. Fantastic on Tilray. I keep saying it wrong. GHDX, one that we saw gapping up today, looking fantastic. Gap and go, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of people put money to work today. Etsy was looking pretty healthy right there. Data, here's a weekly chart. Here's the daily chart again, looking pretty good right there. FINV, it just looks weird to me. Can't really put money in that. Nuven, Eris didn't really give up too much throughout the day, which is fine. GNC was looking good. I mean, all these are up over 10%. It's just a fantastic day. Daniel says, when you sell the put, do you buy it back or let the contract expire? Well, ideally, you let it expire because you just collect all the premium. If you buy it back, then you obviously pay the difference like you would with a normal trade, and you have to pay commissions. Like I said, this was a very, very small trade, just really trying it for me because I recently switched platforms in my Roth, and this one is allowing me to sell puts where my previous one was not. Assuming I can sell calls as well, but I ended up selling some puts because it looks like we're in a bit of a market shift, at least for the short-term future. So, and then Justin says, what happens after a follow-through? Well, follow-through day means the market's back into a bull market. That's it. So in theory, we're done. In terms of this sell-off, we're done. And yeah, that's it. So congratulations. Anyway, pretty cool day. I like a lot of good names. The MJ stocks are moving good today. TTD looks pretty good. You have a lot with this very similar setup here. It looks like a drawdown and then a bounce up and a consolidation. Many are popping through here. So the general rule is you should buy something on a follow through day. Unfortunately, I didn't see anything that I was really super interested in buying. I probably should have bought some more MJ, to be honest with you. Is probably what I should have done. I should have bought more of this. I have a limit order in that's never been filled. I was hoping for some kind of a pullback here, but we didn't get it. Look at that volume on MJ today. I mean, they're putting that money back at work here. Here's that pivot point. You see all these recent lows where we crossed under. Now we're right back to that level. So I mean, that's pretty fantastic. I would expect the MJ stocks to have a really good 2019. I mean, a really good 2019. And we'll just kind of have to see how that goes. If all you guys do is trade the brand new fledgling industry, I can't get mad at you for that. VIP's up 7%, but it looks like been beaten on the head. What up, Christina? How you doing, buddy? So here's SQ. We talked about that the other day down here, one of these 2 days, I forget which, saying, hey, it shouldn't be down here. And it listened to me and has rallied 20% since then. I mean, a lot of these stocks have really come back quite a significant amount. I mean, Emmys, for crying out loud. Look at the volume in the past 2 weeks on Emmys. This week's not even done yet. Now, Emmys is in a perpetual downtrend. I don't usually advocate bottom buying like this. It's just a lot of volume piques my interest, I should say. Workday looking pretty good right there. Amazon up 7% today, guys. Amazon 7%. That trend line I drew, I should have been looking at that this morning. So should have been looking at that. Christina says the Dow Jones looking like a large cup with handle on the weekly. What? What? What are you talking about, cup and handle on the Dow? We've been talking about this market is not done, guys. This market is not done by any stretch of the imagination. In the long term, I mean, over the next 6 months, we still could shop between these all-time highs in the NASDAQ. We don't have to go straight in. There's no way to know what we're going to do when we get back up here. But we basically had a little double top, and we'll see what happens. But this is a nice big structure that we just went through, undercut the 200, had a full 15% correction. I mean, remember this? Remember we drew these lines? When did we draw these lines, guys? You remember? Like here? Before this big down day, if I remember correctly, or maybe during that down day, we drew kind of the possibilities. This was the previous corrections. This was the 15%. This was the 20% bear market, and we ended up right back to that 15% line. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty aggressive price action here for the volume, to be honest with you. It's a little aggressive, but I'll take better than worse. I'll definitely take better than worse. So let's keep going through some of these, see if there's any decent opportunities. And that's one thing that I didn't really see, was nothing like screamed out at me, hey, Randy, you've got to buy this thing. There were a couple that were close, but I mean, maybe 70% out of 100% in terms of a scream. Illumina, yesterday we talked about breaking this trend line. It did so. Also broke the 50-day moving average, bounced off of the 200-day moving average. Illumina is always a big winner. Casa, actually, with looks like quite a few green days in a row. Earnings today. Let's see if anything happened with earnings. Not yet. Looks like they haven't announced yet. Conference call at 4 p.m. Central Time, so I'm guessing an hour for Casa. But Casa, nice rounding out pattern here, nice spike lower, and then we move higher, have what, if you remove that spike, what could be considered a nice rounded bottom in Casa. Funko was one of the ones today. I'm like, man, should I buy Funko? But they actually have earnings like this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. 11/8 after market. So tomorrow afternoon they have earnings, but they're already at their 50-day moving average. I like the little bottom structure on Funko. I like the general lack of volume down here. I wish there was a little more volume to the upside, but you know, we'll see what happens there. But Funko, very interesting, has had a huge rally, 5 to 30 in 1 year. That's a huge increase, guys. Was that 600%? That's massive. That is massive, from 6 to 30. Man, outrageous. Roku down here living at lows, finding support of the 200-day moving average. Twitter was another one I was looking at. I probably should have pulled the trigger. I haven't seen it on the list here yet. It's probably still down here lower. Cyber down there looking. Look at the weekly chart. Trying to get above all-time highs. That could get it going. That's a little interesting. ABMD over all of this structure here. That moving average, I think, is messing with things. But the structure right here is pretty interesting. Have to look at the fundamentals. I'm not going to be on here too long, guys, in the afternoon session here, if I do jump on. Netflix. I was really looking at Netflix today, guys. I think I looked at Netflix. It still looks really good. As a matter of fact, I don't know if I ever finished what I wanted to do with Netflix. Hold on a second. Let me look here. 320s, 117, 320, 117. Hold on a second. Server's spooling up again. Give it a minute. I think Netflix right now is probably one of the ones I like the most. Okay, yeah, so it did go down a little bit. So let's look at Netflix on the weekly. In my opinion, it's a pretty clear double bottom base. That's your buy point, well above from where we are today. Okay. The volume signature isn't perfect, but coming back above the 200-day would be healthy, then back through the 50-day as well. And if this is indeed a double bottom base, remember, Netflix is one of the ones that broke first in the market. It actually broke first in July, never quite recovered. Came up here, formed a lower high. Now we have a lower low. And yeah, it could be good for a double bottom base. I really hope that's what happens here. Because if you look at, where's duplicate drawing? If you look at the fundamentals on Netflix, it's great. Nothing's wrong with it at all. As a matter of fact, at all. So while we are in the middle of a channel, it's not my perfect entry. Your technical buy point up here at about, what is that, 390 or something, 388. 388. We're still quite a ways from that level, which could give you some really good gains if you're patient with this one. 18% there. 30%, almost 30% to all-time highs in Netflix. We could go beyond this. I mean, the numbers in Netflix aren't really slowing down. The metrics are really good. If you go out, I was looking at some of my options plays, and they're looking good going out 6-7 months from that perspective. So I'm really liking Netflix here. This one I was looking at earlier. I didn't pull any triggers, though, but I'm really thinking about it. Really no volume here on the sell-off. Not really. I mean, looking at it, you have a little high volume area here, and then you have a nice high volume bottoming candle, which is what you want to see, and then kind of slowly going off to the races with the market going back into a bull trend after today, more than likely. Netflix, if we do continue the trend, Netflix could be really good going forward. What's up, Nick? What a day, Sessions. Yeah, buy Sessions, right? We waited till like 20 minutes after the elections ended to fire Sessions. Grab some MJ today. Wanted to get more TQQQ, but I'm not sure why I didn't buy. It didn't look back too much. What are you owing about there, Eli? When your mom's... That's right, Eli. More cake in the fridge. More cake in the fridge. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it's game on here, guys, I hope you guys got your fill. I'm not sure if you guys are my regular guys that are here in the morning. If you're not, I do this in the morning before the market opens and a little bit after the market closes. Oh, you're talking about my aftermarket. I did this yesterday. And I liked it too. Just a really short, quick update. Plus, it keeps me a little more engaged too. Sometimes I can get a little distracted. I've probably looked at, like, I don't want to exaggerate, but when you look at like 100 charts a day over like 15 years, I don't even know what that number is. And sometimes on weekends I'll go through a couple hundred charts. So I don't know how many charts I've looked at. It's still fun, but it's not as fun as when I was doing it in year 12. Anyway, well, I thought you'd see the thing, Eli. I actually was going to, and then the market was like just closing. As a matter of fact, I have you open on my Slack in the private message thing, but no, we're not over, Eli. Shut up. Justin says, is MJ an ETF? Yes, MJ is an ETF, and I kind of use, I don't know. I've never done drugs, never will do drugs. And my kids are in the room, so I just like saying MJ rather than weed stocks or marijuana stocks when they're in the room. So I just kind of have gotten in that habit. But MJ is an ETF. There are individual names that may perform better. Eating the rest of the cake. That's funny. But yeah, no, I'd use MJ kind of as a synonymous term. I mean, really, any of these could go good. The reason kind of why I like the ETFs is because it's more of a basket of stocks than it is an individual stock, and technically it should reduce some volatility, though it didn't appear to do it throughout this portion right here. But in the end, I mean, I think it's all going to be good. I think this ETF is going to go up a couple 100%, and I think you're going to have other MJ stocks going up probably more in some individual names. Now, as in with any industry, you're going to have your leaders and your laggards, and I don't know enough about the industry, and there's a lot of politics involved as well. So I think MJ, at least for me, for my lazy style of investing, at least in this industry, I'm fine just trading the ETF. That's just for me. You guys can do what you want to do. We'll still talk about all of them. We talked about Tilroy earlier. We still talk about, where's another one? Cron, CGC. We talk about all of them. But, one day one's going to run, one day another's going to run, one day another's going to run. And it is what it is. And in MJ, I think you'll get a nice mix. And that's why I like the ETF. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think we're good to go here. I mean, that's what it looks like today. Today wasn't a follow-through day? What are you talking about, Eli? Did IBD say it wasn't a follow-through day? What do their charts say? Don't say it wasn't a follow-through day. Microsoft had man, they rocketed through their 50-day. How do you say it wasn't a follow-through day? Okay, now I've got to search for charts. Okay, so let me go to charts, and I'll go pull the NASDAQ up. Okay, IBD charts. Okay, NASDAQ composite. Follow-through day right there. Follow-through day. Yep, higher than yesterday's volume. Up 2.5%. That's a follow-through day. Back over the 200-day moving average right there. Coming up to the 50-day. Now, we'll see what happens on the 50-day. Now, here's another thing. And I've said this before in the streams, is that not every follow-through day works, okay? But every bull market has started with a follow-through day, okay? So while we do have a follow-through day here today, I'm arbitrarily calling it a follow-through day before IBD gets a chance to, I guess. But looks pretty good. The volume isn't that impressive when you look at this particular one, but if you look at some of the other ones, it looks pretty good. Yeah, so what am I missing here, Eli? We got 2.5% on the NASDAQ plus, actually. It was higher though. I mean, it wasn't jumpy, but it was definitely higher. We'll have to wait. Let's wait and see what. So where's volume? 23.7, 22.8. So it is what it is. I mean, yeah, I would like volume to be a little bit higher, but it just kind of is what it is. But the price action's good. Like I said a little bit ago, we don't have like major bases to buy off of. That's the only. I mean, that's what I was looking forward to within a correction. Is you're looking for bases to buy off of. Corrections are great. I actually love corrections. I love corrections because it builds these bases like we just saw in Netflix. Like this is what happens in corrections right here. Now you do sometimes get them organically. You'll see a certain stock pause while the rest of the market rallies and that stock catches up. That's fine, but usually when you have pretty deep market corrections, you end up with a whole ton of stocks in some really good looking bases. In this particular case, and this was a pretty quick correction. I mean, I got to keep it real here. To the ultimate low, we're looking at 26 days. I mean, and then we're talking 34 until we're out of the correction back into an uptrend. I'm not going to say a bull market. I'm going to say an uptrend, actually. I should learn to do that. So it's a little shallow. It doesn't really set you up for anything but flat bases. I haven't seen too many flat bases out there. I know there's a couple, but I really can't think of any off the top of my head. But either way, things are not looking too bad. All right, let's see how here ended up. Look where here closed right there. Look at that. They actually sold off. Remember this morning they were right here. They sold off and they came back. I want to look at this on the 5-minute. They're still a leader in their industry. So this is all day today. Okay, looks like they spiked lower and came higher. And then they kind of started rallying on higher volume. So not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not that bad. Look, double bottom down there. Someone picked a bunch up down at 17 and a quarter. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Now let's I'll go into new all-time highs. But that TQQQ strategy working pretty good so far, I think. This is really the first, honestly, the first time I put it into implementation right here, and I'm not unhappy with the results. So there's our high volume down day. We actually had a second high volume down day right here, and we talked about that, and then we went lower. So we basically had an area to buy that was right there underneath, this high volume down day, and in between this high volume down day, and our follow through day brings us up here. So you get a little better fills by doing this, and that's kind of what we found out when we did our analysis. And little better fills, but you have to be more patient. Now, technically on a follow through day, you should not undercut the low. This is also something we're going to have to look out for. Are we going to undercut this low of the follow through day? I believe it's, you know what, I'm actually a little bit I'm a little bit unsure on that rule. I wonder if it's the low of the follow through day or the low of the entire move. I actually forgot. Okay, follow through day. Gains are generally well above 1%. If the follow-through day succeeds, it will be accompanied by a growing number of highly rated stocks breaking out of new bases to new highs in heavy trade. Yeah, see, they're not mentioning the undercutting rule. Crap, what is it? Doesn't say in that specific article. Okay, here's another one. This is important. I'm trying to, and so is their horrible website. Their website sucks. I hate their website. I hate it. Okay, here's another thing. Watch out for distribution days. If you see distribution days within just a few days after the follow-through, look out. It could mean the nascent uptrend is not taking hold and will quickly fall back into a correction. So that's where we talk about that not all follow-through days create bull markets, but every bull market has had a follow-through day. So you need to pay attention to follow-through days. But you still gotta pay attention. We pay attention every day. Every day. every day. Oh, what's this? Sorry, guys, I'm doing some research here on the other screen. No one's talking about the failure of a follow-through day. Well, anyway, I think it's this level, but something in me says it's this level. It's this low, but I think it's the low of the follow-through day that doesn't get undercut. Anyway, important stuff. Important stuff. And here's the cool thing about TQQQ and trying to buy these off of the lows. What do you think the percentage gain you would need to go from low to high is here? 67%. Yes. 67%. Exactly. So what about from this low here to the recent highs? What's that going to be? 61%. What about that first high volume day? 30%. 30%. So even if you bought from here and held through all of this, you're still getting 30% out of a move back into new highs if you exited at a, I think we exited here, I think. I don't remember exactly. Thanks, Eli. Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll email you that 40%. But this is why the TQQQ is so powerful and why my larger strategy around the TQQQ is, especially for retirement accounts, like if you don't need this money, because here's the thing, if you're trading for income or something, maybe this is not a great strategy. Maybe you trade this with part, but for retirement accounts, it's just substantial because it's, I don't know, it's the best strategy. I'm actually putting together a whole different website for it and everything. And then I'm going to do a little educational series on it. I think it's going to be great. Hopefully a lot of people make a lot of money from it. Wait, what? Yeah. Yeah, new website for this strategy. I'm gonna try something I haven't really tried before. Anyway, we can talk later. Yeah, so MJ looking pretty good. I mean, everything's looking pretty good. Honestly, what MJ looks like to me is the very, 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 very beginning of a much larger move in MJ. And I hope it... look at that, from literally nothing. Look at that volume over there. Like, you got days with just crazy gaps. Some nice institutional sponsorship right here. Some FUD action, some reaccumulation. I think this is like destined for just huge moves. Huge, huge moves. I think you're going to see $100 MJ, I think, before it's all said and done. I don't know about the individual names. I don't know about Tilroy, CGC. I have no idea, but I think some of these MJ stocks are going to do great. Anyway, guys, looks like we got a follow-through day today. We'll see what happens in the next couple of days. We'll keep an eye out for some distribution or some stalling days, and maybe if I got time, like I said, I'll come back in the afternoon and we can talk about it. Other than that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good day, and happy follow-through day, ladies and gentlemen.